Whenever you feel like life is becoming really tough and you don't know which way to go, realize that nobody outside of you is going to have the answers for you. Only you have the answers for your own life. Only you should be able to know what you should be doing in your life. And it's not something where you feel as though if you choose something, you're going to worry that it's the wrong mistake. It's about realizing that all of your actions are the right actions. Why did I say more mistakes? And all mistakes are made for you to make, because there's not actually any such thing as a mistake. Everything is there to help you grow and evolve. And by growing and evolving, you also realize that you have all the answers within you anyway. There's nobody that knows more than you do. You know more than you do about you. Everyone you can get inspiration from and guidance, but when it comes to you and your own life, that is about you going within, because you are the one that knows you best. And your higher self, your soul, wants you to be on your own, to figure out who that is and find more of who you are. Because when you're on your own and when you spend time on your own, and when you do things that go out in the unknown, you are just finding more of who you are, rather than being this limited version of yourself operating from your ego. You are realizing that you are so much more than that. And when you do spend time on your own, you just find more of that. So it's about loving that and realizing that every single day is about growth and transmuting any energies that you have, the shadow parts, into the light. So it's about honoring them, not pushing them away, trying to numb them, do anything external to get a sense of getting rid of the pain, the shadow self that you don't want to look at. It's about integrating that into the light and loving all aspects of you, because when you love all aspects of you, you realize just how pure and innocent we all are. The only reason that people act out in ways that may not be favorable or may not look like something you would do is because of what they went through during a child and what's in their subconscious programming. I'm not, saying that bad behavior is acceptable, because it should be looked at and people should want to do the work and do the change on themselves. But what I am saying is, it's no one's responsibility for the way that things end up being. For example, if your parents didn't love you, they were absent, they were never there for you, the way that you have now evolved into a person is not your responsibility. For example, you now believing that what love is to act out in toxic ways, is to be manipulative and controlling, because that is your version of love. That's what you grew up seeing when you were younger, so that's the only way that you believe love to be. So it's not your fault that you have these beliefs that don't serve you and that are out of alignment, but it is your responsibility to understand that you can change those beliefs to benefit your life in a positive way. It is your responsibility to take your power back and, take all of that anger and rage that you may have towards your caregivers or now everyone in the external, because they're just reflecting back to you the anger you have within, and transmuting that so you can actually use that to create a beautiful life for yourself. The fact that you feel emotion is beautiful. It's such a gift to be able to feel. So it doesn't matter what that feeling is. The fact that you can feel, and you feel a huge amount when you feel it, is such a good indication that you are going to live such an amazing life, because you have all the power to be able to transmute that energy into good feelings, and therefore you can channel that into doing anything that you want to do in this life. So I personally believe that it is so much healthier for you and better for you to feel those emotions, despite what those emotions are, to be able to feel them, release them, rather than living a life where you are numb to any emotion. Because if you are living a life where you are completely numb, and this is exactly how I lived for so many years, then you cannot even experience the positive feelings, the good things that are happening in your life, because you have numbed yourself so much from the bad, negative feeling emotions that you don't want to feel. Now when things that are actually happening that are so amazing right in front of you, you have no emotion, you have no feeling for it. You cannot distinguish between the bad and the good. It's just all the same. It's just meh. That's literally what it is. So it's so much more healthier and shows that you are in such a good path when you can feel and allow yourself to feel those emotions, because once they're felt, all they do is move up the vibrational scale. So you have to be able to love the fact that you feel emotion, even if it is anger and rage and you feel like you shouldn't be feeling it, or people around you are judging you and acting differently because you acted out in this angry way once, or whatever it may be. Realize that no one's perception of you is accurate, and no one actually knows you for you. You know why you acted in those ways. You know why acting out in anger is actually better for you than not saying anything at all and being in your depressed bubble with all these tormenting thoughts. So that goes on to the last point that I want to make. This life is all about you. Nobody has to understand you or understand the way that you act or do things. Only you need to understand you, and realize that when you understand you, you don't need the validation from anyone, because you validate you. Self-validation is the most important thing, and once you actually have it, people are going to start validating you. But that's because you validate yourself. You're not looking for it, searching for it, wanting it so desperately, needing it. It's because you do that to yourself. And again, everything you do within is reflected externally. Everything you're doing to yourself is the way that your life is. You are creating everything in your life.